Hello folks, and welcome to another review from the Audiophile man. Now, I have always wanted to do this review, but either kept putting it off because I felt like I was being, self-indulgent, or the right hardware was just not available, which is why I want to thank BeyerDynamic for making this review possible. And to apologise to the same company for the late running of this test. These headphones have been with me for a while. I just needed to find the right time to do it. You could say that this review, for me at least, is a bit of a sonic education, and maybe it'll help you at some point in the future as well, who knows. The reason for this review and the question I have is this: can headphones designed as a studio tool perform well in a home hi-fi setup? Should you, as a home hi-fi user, even bother considering pro-level headphones? The argument being that pro-level headphones, studio headphones, are literally a tool for mastering and whatnot, and they are not aimed at the home hi-fi user, and the two are incompatible. I've heard lots of stories, I've heard lots of viewpoints. I wanted to find out for myself, hence this review. So I grabbed two contrasting models from the same range from Germany's BeyerDynamic to find out. Both models use the company's own Tesla 45 drivers, designed apparently to reduce distortion and including peak polymer, that's a kind of low noise polymer, and a voice coil made of aluminium-coated copper wire. I looked at two models, the closed-backed DT 1770 Pro Mark IIs and the open-backed DT 1990 Pro Mark IIs. Both feature flexible spring steel headbands, adding memory foam and leatherette. Earpads are also replaceable. The 1770s are equipped with leatherette and velour earpads, while the 1990 comes with two different types of velour earpads. One is the so-called producing velour, apparently aimed at producers, I guess. That delivers a fuller sound with a slight bass boost. The other is the so-called mixing and mastering velour, which offers a more analytical sound. Both arrive with a 3-meter detachable cable and a 5-meter spiral cable, each equipped with a lockable 3-pin mini XLR connector on the headphone end, and on the other end, the thing you plug into your amplifier, a full-size 6.35mm single-ended termination. Both headphones come out of the box with a dedicated hard case. USB-C cables are available separately, but I wasn't supplied with those, so could not test them. Question is, of course, how do they sound? So let's have a little listen. I began with the Cocteau Twins and the EP Twilights, a sort of acoustic presentation from the band, and the track Rilkean Heart, featuring a high register lead vocal, backing vocal, piano, bass, and acoustic guitar. I also began with the 1770s and compared those to the lower cost Sennheiser 620S headphones. The 620Ss, at least on release, retailed for about $229. I think they still are. They are also of a closed back design. I found the 1770s easier to drive, so the volume increased, and so down went the gain on my headphone amplifier. During play, I noted an accentuated upper mid-range output and rather peaky treble from the BeyerDynamics. Although not for those looking for balanced play or a neutral output, the 1770s did extract a heap of detail from the rear of the mix. For those who enjoy more emphasis to the upper frequencies, that could prove very useful indeed. Bass, even during this acoustic setting, was rather strong, with a weight and foundation to the performance that again was very attractive. Switching from the closed-backed 1770s to the more open-backed 1990s, I found the 1990s provided a more expansive and spacious mid-range. even easier to drive than the 1770s, the 1990s also had a slight edge in the mids and the treble, and that could be easily picked up during vocal crescendos. But that accentuation was rather reduced when compared to the 1770s. The open and spacious presentation from the 1990s was superior to the Sennheiser 620S designs, although the Sennheisers offered a more balanced overall performance. I then changed headphones and I turned to the Sendy Ava headphones, priced around $650 when I reviewed them, and they were slightly harder to drive than the BeyerDynamic models. I did find, though, that the Ava designs were better balanced again, but also provided a more layered soundstage with a distinctly 3D construction. Compare that to the rather flat canvas soundstage from both the 1770s and the 1990s. Both lacked the same measure of mid-range insight that you could find on the Avas. Saying that, though, both of the BeyerDynamic headphones did create a better sense of bass structure and power, especially through the 1770 Pro designs. I played the 90s indie band Chewy on the Fierce Panda label, a rather high-energy outing, and the track I used was All Over the Place. Just for a laugh, I compared both of the BeyerDynamics to another design that accentuates the mids and the treble. I picked the Grado 950s. Price for these are rather more than the BeyerDynamics at about £2,500. Now sure, the 1770 Pro headphones, not surprisingly, did not attain the same dynamic reach as the Grados. However, they did offer a better lower bass extension, the close-backed nature of the designs helping on that score, no doubt. Sure, the Grados provided a better sense of upper mid-range detail and treble information, but the 1770 Pro designs were not as edgy in upper frequency terms. Mids were not as hard from the 1770s, while treble was not as pinched as those found on the Grados. Turning to the 1990 Pros now, well, they were the best balanced output of the three models in this particular test, allowing both the vocals, the percussion, well, and also the electric guitars more room to maneuver, inserting space in between each, thus allowing the ear to pick up more information and detail. And that's basically a review of both of these BeyerDynamic headphones, the 1770 Pros and the 1990 Pros. Let me give you a few final thoughts, got some of those to share with you. I'll give you some pros and cons and also a rating, or ratings in this particular case, hey. As I say, the point of this dual review was to see if a pair of contrasting studio headphones could easily fit into a home listening environment, or do these studio tools better suit that pro-only setup? Should they just stay in the studio? I would say the latter. I would say yes, they should just live in the studio based on the evidence I have here. These BeyerDynamic Pro headphones are ideal studio tools. They can really help you with recording problems like what? Sibilance maybe, vocal issues, instrument bleed, compression artifacts, harsh resonance, that kind of thing. The BeyerDynamic headphone pairing here will work wonderfully in that sonic office. They are not, at least in my own case, suited for short or long-term home hi-fi listening enjoyment. They are more of a business tool than a method of relaxing with your favorite music. Saying that, however, if your ears love a more accentuated suite of upper frequencies, if you want to hear every single drop of detail in any mix and prefer, and some people do, prefer an edgy overall performance, then I heartily recommend both of these BeyerDynamic headphones. And that's it off, folks. Thanks for staying to the end of this particular video. Down below, before you go, can you click on the like, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe buttons, please. I'd very much appreciate that. Helps the old channel, algorithms, all that jazz. Can you also just check further down? I'll put some of my own links. I'll put links to the headphones too, of course, but also my own links. My Facebook group is there, which you're welcome to join. My website, which you're welcome to browse, and my Patreon page too. If you can support me on that, if you like these type of videos, my music alerts, my hi-fi news, if you like that kind of thing, then please consider supporting me on Patreon, because Patreon funds this channel. I'll be back next week with probably Friday, hopefully, with a music-related video. If not, Saturday, probably, again, with a hi-fi. It depends. It depends, folks. Probably hi-fi news on a Saturday and another review on Sunday. Hope to see you there. Hope to have your company. Until then, folks, bye-bye for now.